star treatment, win passes to 3 great summer movies from Pictures. Days of Tom Cruise, Eddie Murphy in Another 48 Hours, and Ghost with Patrick Swayze. And qualify for Friday night's drawing of a trip for 2 to be a star at Universal Studios, home of John Kong and Earthquake. Transportation provided by U.S. Air, official airline of Universal Studios Hollywood. Tune in to each DC-20 movie next week and 1 star to appear. Call into the special contest phone number and be one of the first 20 callers to win. Next week at 8 on DC-20, WDCA-TV.
The Waldorf Astoria, America's for business and play. The Waldorf Astoria, in the heart of New York City. Shopping at America's finest. New York's famous skyline is all around you. The Waldorf Astoria, surround you. The Waldorf Astoria, surrounded by all there is to see and do in America's most unusual city. The Waldorf Astoria. For reservations, call 212-355-3000.
Welcome to Lumina Sedan. It has been designed with care for you and yours.
Listen to the heartbeat.
With rear doors that open wide, plenty of room for the family to enjoy. And even Scotchgard fabric protector comes standard. The family Lumina Sedan. When it comes to new ideas, nobody's winning like.
Heartbeat of America. That's today Chevrolet.
When you work at it, you get good. When you do it every day, you get better. It's called consistency. Success is often measured by how much you play. If you don't play, you can't win. Don't miss your chance to win $500 playing your favorite 3-digit number or $5 grand playing your favorite 4-digit number. Because you never know when it's your lucky day. DC Lucky Numbers and DC4, both from the DC Lottery.
And we're back live here on WDCA TV 20 Sports. Coverage of Washington Capitals playoff hockey. After 2 periods of play, Caps lead it by a score of 1-0. A goal by Kelly Miller. They lead in the series 3-1. Welcome back. I'm Jeffrey Murnau, WDCA TV studios, and a pleasure to welcome one of the all-time greats for the New York Rangers, Hockey Hall of Famer, Rod Gilbert. Rod, nice to have you here on our Washington telecast and your impressions of the hockey game.
We're seeing hockey at its best here. The Capitals seems a little bit domineering here, and as the past games, you know, like that they played the Rangers in Washington, I think that after the first defeat that they were subjected here, like 7-3 against the Rangers, I saw a tremendous change into their attitude, and even by losing Dino Ciccarelli. But they're strong. They're, you know, if they go, the Rangers had a good team. They're getting a little tired right now on defense. Rochford and Patrick and Muller, you know, and the size of Washington is what impresses me like right now. And they're coming at the Rangers. And what about the surprise of Bruce? I mean, scoring all these goals against, you know, having such a mediocre season or whatever, scoring 8 goals. But the Rangers, like Mike Liut, played really bad here the first game. And you know the quality of a goaltender that he is. And for some reason, he just picked it up again. And the Rangers had 4 or 5 good chances here, like during this late second period. So Washington should be prepared, if by some chance that they beat the Rangers, to go a long way. They'll be meeting Boston, obviously, which they play tonight, or Montreal. But I'm not giving up on the Rangers because it's 1-0, and Van Beesbrook made some unbelievable saves. So this is playoff hockey, and it's rough out there, and I'm sure that your viewers are enjoying it.
All right, Rod, nice of you to join us, and maybe a little bit later on we can talk to you again.
Sure, certainly.
Rod Gilbert, Hockey Hall of Famer, joining us here on WDCA. We'll continue with our second intermission in just a moment.
Advantage Jeep vehicles. Others copy, none compare. Advantage Eagle. New looks in performing art. Advantage Savings. Guaranteed cash back on Jeep Cherokees. New Eagle Premieres. Hot new Eagle Challenges. And Jeep Wranglers. During the Guaranteed Advantage Sell-a-thon, the only advantage you don't have is time.
See your National Capital Area Jeep and Eagle dealer, where you can expect the best.
It began as a game. It turned into a battle. And now, it's out of control. coming January 28th. This time, it's war.
One airline has had the best record for on-time dependability for as long as records have been kept. American Airlines. And when an airline runs on time, it tells you that schedules are reliable, maintenance is impeccable, and that one airline is committed to being the very best. American Airlines, the on-time machine.
Punk rock? Classic rock. Slippery rock? Classic rock. Piece of the rock? Classic rock. Scotch on the rocks? Classic rock. Moon rock. There's all kinds of rock, but classic rock is 105.9 WCXR.
For over 30 years, Northern Virginia has had one solid, sound financial choice, and that's carved in stone. Providence Savings, the solid choice. We're back live here at Madison Square Garden in New York. 2 periods of play here in Game 5. The Washington Capitals leading the series 3-1 and lead on the scoreboard 1-0 after the first 40 minutes. Jeff Rimmer back with our analyst tonight, Dino Cicerelli, doing an outstanding job. And Dino, your impressions of that second period?
Well, they played a good period. They weathered the storm, so to speak. When you can kill penalties the way we're doing a great job, it's frustrating on their part. And a 5-on-3 for 10 seconds and then killing the last penalty with 2 minutes left. Again, the third period, you got to come out the same way. You got to play good positional hockey. Sooner or later, they're going to have to start pressing and wait for turnovers. And when the turnovers happen, you try to capitalize on them.
A low-scoring game, but the next goal has got to be just insurmountable as far as the Rangers are concerned if the Capitals can get it.
Well, definitely. Again, if we can get that goal, it's going to be almost impossible for the Rangers to come back, especially the way we're playing defensively. And if they get the goal, it's a whole new ball game. You're going to get the crowd back in the game, so hopefully that won't happen and the guys will keep playing the same way.
Very quickly, you were back in the dressing room. What's the mood right now as we get set for period 3?
Pretty intense. There's not a whole lot going on, and a lot of serious looks on guys' faces, and they're intense. They're going to be ready for a big third period here.
We'll talk a little bit later. Let's now take this short break and be back with more of our Washington Capitals playoff hockey coverage on WDCA.
Eastern's Anywhere Fares. Fares to take you anywhere we fly in the USA for only $89 to $223 to cities like Miami, Fort Lauderdale, Tampa, Orlando, Los Angeles, Boston, New Orleans. Anywhere in the USA, only $89 to $223. Now through June 27th, only on Eastern. Fares that will make you fly.
Giant knows that we cannot take any of our customers for granted. That the Consumer Bill of Rights is our reminder of what our responsibility is to our customers and what our responsibility is to ourselves. The Consumer Bill of Rights hangs in every Giant store and is a reminder of our commitment to the customer. Consumers do have the right to be informed, the right to be heard. All those issues are important to our customers, and because they're important to our customers, they're important to Giant.
Each working day in Washington, D.C., hundreds of thousands of vehicles take to the streets. Now when they do, they'll have the opportunity to fill up with a reformulated gasoline. New Shell SU-2000E, designed to lower harmful hydrocarbon vapor emissions from your car. It won't end our city's air pollution, but it's a good beginning. So come to Shell, experience the difference, and make a difference.
Washington's lead is still at 1-0 over the New York Rangers. We've finished 2 periods of the game here at Madison Square Garden tonight. Mike Fornes and Al Koken welcoming you back once again to our hockey telecast this evening here on WDCA TV 20. Well, that was a lot of pressure that the Rangers threw at the Capitals during that period, and they had a great chance to tie the game with those back-to-back power play opportunities late. But the Caps doing a great job despite the absence of some defensemen that were out of action due to penalties and injuries.
Well, Hatcher, we understand, may be out for the rest of the game. You're in a situation where Neil Sheehy will come back at some point in the third period. So you had those 2 guys out already. Then you get penalties to Stevens and then to Langway. So Bob Rouse, I thought, was just a magnificent job that he did on penalty killing. Out of those 2 Ranger power plays, they only got 4 shots on goal. That's great penalty kill.
The Rangers even had some pressure at times other than when they were on the power play. Here's a breakaway attempt by Paul Broughton.
I think right now the penalty killing on both sides is what's really been the story in this game. Paul Broughton has had 2 shorthanded breakaway chances. Here's that first one where he comes in there, and Mike Liut, remember Broughton had beat Liut when Liut came in relief of Don Beaupre. Tried to go backhand again, the same move he made when he scored the goal. Liut was ready for it. Then the next time Broughton had a breakaway, tried to finish it off forehand, tuck it between the pads, and Liut had the answer there. Mike Liut is playing dynamite hockey as well.
Time now to take a look at our Volkswagen intermission statistics for the second period, and the Caps still had the lead 1-0. The shots in the period 14-13 favoring Washington. Each team went 0 for 2 on the power play, and the penalty minutes are split evenly at 21 minutes per side. Our Volkswagen intermission stats are brought to you by your Washington area Volkswagen dealers. That's where you'll find Farfignugan. It's what makes a car a Volkswagen. The out-of-town scores are brought to you by Giant Food, and the Boston Bruins still leading over the Montreal Canadiens 1-0. And they finished 2 periods of that game at the Boston Garden. We'll be back with tonight's 3rd period here from the Madison Square Garden in New York after this.
If you're thinking about buying a Camry or an Accord, think about this. The Nissan Stanza has a more powerful standard engine. It's got more standard features inside and out, and it costs just $11,650. The 1990 Nissan Stanza. Either we're overachievers or they're overpriced. Take the Nissan Stanza challenge. Test drive a Stanza. If you still buy a Camry or an Accord, we'll give you $100. Look at that car.
Next week on DC-20 Star Treatment, win passes to 3 great summer movies from Paramount Pictures. Days of Thunder with Tom Cruise, Eddie Murphy in Another 48 Hours, and Ghost with Patrick Swayze. And qualify for Friday night's drawing of a trip for 2 to be a star at Universal Studios Hollywood. Home of Jaws, King Kong, and Earthquake. Transportation provided by U.S. Air, official airline of Universal Studios Hollywood. Tune into each DC-20 movie next week and watch for the star to appear. Call into the special contest phone number and be one of the first 20 callers to win. Next week at 8 on DC-20 WDCA-TV.
You know what one of Maryland's best-kept secrets is? It's going down to Ocean City off-season. The fresh air, ocean breeze, make it a perfect place for an afternoon or a weekend. And the drive down here is half the fun. There's so much to see along the way. So what are you waiting for? Summer? Do something different. Come on down the ocean this season.
You know, this is really the greatest. Okay, movers, item 7. Pizza mover Pulaski came out with these shortcuts so we could deliver pizza just a little bit faster, okay? Pass them out, Leo, baby. Now, item 8. Last night, Gordon made a delivery in 35.5 minutes. Come on. Remember, pizza mover guarantees free delivery in 30 minutes or less. We got to live up to that. That's it. And by the way, let's be punctual out there.
Nobody delivers taste like pizza movers. Announcing the world-class value in 4-door sedans at a special price, the Hyundai Excel.
More horsepower. Power. Multi-point.
Fuel injected.
More power.
Automatic.
Automatic 4-speed.
Overdrive?
Sure.
Stereo, too.
Stereo. Cassette.
Stereo.
Really?
Wiper. Intermittent. Wiper. Rear defogger.
More headroom. More legroom. Pocket seats.
5-passenger living room.
Tinted glass.
Dual remote mirrors.
Nice wheels.
The Excel 4-door sedan from Hyundai, now specially priced at just $71.99. For more information on this world-class value, call 1-800-826-CARS.
Used, dirty motor oil is getting into Maryland's precious water supply. If you change your own motor oil, never dump it down a storm drain or put it in the trash. Take it to a used oil collection tank. Call toll-free for the location of your nearest collection site.
Tonight's Capitals playoff game is sponsored in part by Providence Savings. Solid service, solid rates, and solid strength make Providence the solid choice in banking. Trustworthy hardware, the problem solver. National Capital Jeep Eagle dealers, where you can expect the very best. The DC Lottery and Charitable Games Control Board. Winning is a state of mind. And by Eastern, they're building a great new airline, one customer at a time.
WDCA's
Tonight's coverage of Washington Capitals hockey is sponsored in part by the Capital Cadillac Company, home of the Capital Commitment, featuring lifetime lubrication, oil, and filter changes with the purchase of your new Cadillac. Sellout crowd tonight here at Madison Square Garden, 16,651, anxiously awaiting the start of tonight's third period. And before we face off, let's check in downstairs with Jeff Rimmel.
Thanks, Mike. The word not good on Kevin Hatcher. The Capitals defenseman has played so well in this series and throughout the playoffs is through for the evening, and he'll have that knee re-examined by Washington doctors back in the D.C. area tomorrow. So Hatcher through for the night. The Capitals lose one of their key defensemen. Teams are on the ice. We're set to go. Period 3 here on WDCA. Let's rejoin Mike Fornes and Al Coker.
You can hear the crowd. Most of them were on their feet cheering the New York Rangers as they were tapping the pads of John Van Beesbrook in preparation for what could be their final 30 minutes of the 1989-90 hockey, 20 minutes of the 1989-90 hockey season. And it's an amazing situation right now with the Washington Capitals playing so well, nursing this 1-0 lead. And we know that next goal of this hockey game, Mike, is going to tell probably most of the story.
Well, the Caps can do a lot by getting that first one, and if they get it early here, they'll again take this crowd out of it. Because right now, this crowd very much a part of keeping these Rangers going. They have lost 2 players in this game due to injury. Washington has lost Kevin Hatcher. 1-0 the score, and we're underway with the final 20 minutes of this contest and what may be the last 20 minutes of the series. The puck back inside the Washington zone, and here's Kissio in the corner. And played to the point, kept in there. Now here's a shot blocked by Liut from Rochefort. Out of that comes Scott Stevens, and he leads it out to center ice. Mike Ridley back to the Ranger blue line. Caps changing up on the fly. Here comes Kissio into the Washington zone. Cleared into the corner. Miller bats it back to center. And Moeller throws a pass rink wide now for Greshner. Out to center ice. Here's Bernie Nichols back inside the Washington zone. Stopped behind the net. Johansson up the boards, and it gets away from Moeller and comes all the way back inside the New York Rangers zone. Bruce in to tie up in the corner. The puck cleared on the right wing. And here comes Moeller ahead to center ice. He gives to Gartner. Gartner across the line. Wrist shot. Caught by Liut. Feeds it into the corner now for Courtnall. Throws it behind the net. It's taken by Erickson off the back of the goal. Over to Nichols. Nichols centering it. And a save by Liut. Rebound is loose. Oh, and a shot wide from Erickson. Now on the backboard. Johansson jams up. It's cleared to the point. Rochefort a drive. He scores! The puck was deflected into the net, but it will count. The game is tied at 1.
You see Mike Liut not back because of the traffic, but what a great job the Rangers have done. Jan Erickson robbed twice there by Mike Liut. That third attempt shot wide, but the Rangers keep the puck alive. Now they'll come back up to the point. Rochefort holds it in as the Caps forwards were all back trying to help. Look at that flipping puck. Deflecting off traffic. Mike Liut falling back in towards the net. And this crowd is going nuts as the Rangers have done what they needed to do, tie this hockey game and tie it early.
Time of the goal, 1:47 of the third period. 1-1 the score. Here's Ridley tossing it rink wide for Bob Joyce. Now John Tucker ties up. And we have a penalty call coming for elbowing, and this is against the Rangers. The Caps will come out of it with a power play.
To nearly 1 million working men and women, it's a major employer, paying $10 billion in annual salaries. To our government, it's tax revenue, nearly $5 billion every year.
To our farmers, it's a solid market, purchasing $600 million in U.S. crops. It's beer. And to 80 million responsible Americans, it remains a good part of the good life.
A message from Budweiser.
A look of disbelief on the face of Roger Nielsen. He has seen Terry Gregson call Chris King for an elbowing penalty at the 2:10 mark. An opportunity for the Capitals to get back into the lead. There you see King coming up on Tucker. That's what gets the call from Gregson. The Ranger penalty killers have been as good, and maybe even, in some cases, a little bit better in terms of getting chances shorthanded than the Capital penalty killers. So this is a situation where, even though it looks great for Washington, the Rangers, I think, really get firing themselves up emotionally with some dynamite penalty killing work in that second period. Let's see what they can do here.
The New York scoring play, Normand Rochefort, the goal, his second of the playoffs, at 1:47, unassisted. Van Beesbrook doing the clearing job, sending it into the penalty box.
That did hit off the glass and go into the penalty box, so there will be no delay of game call against John Van Beesbrook. Really has not handled the puck as much as I remember him trying to do, at least in game 2, where I think he tried to overhandle it a bit. Got into a bit of trouble there. I think he's been a little more conservative so far tonight, although there he had nobody on him. Just whipped it out of the zone himself. He has that capability. He's pretty good with his stick and handling the puck.
Here's James Patrick to turn and start out. Leads it off the boards back inside the Washington zone. And Liut is there to roadblock behind the net. Scott Stevens leads it ahead to center ice. Here's Steve Leach on the right wing. Leach flips it across the line, back inside Ranger territory. James Patrick rushed on the play. The puck comes loose, off a skate of Ridley right in front of the net. And it bounced back to the Ranger goal where Van Beesbrook smothered the puck.
Bob Joyce in deep, pressuring Patrick. Stephen Leach then pinching the boards to cut off the clearing attempt, and he found Mike Ridley. But it's such a bang-bang play, ice very slick, it goes off Ridley's skates, and before he can turn to try and play it, Van Beesbrook is covered up. Well, the frustration really has got to feel not only there, but you go back to that second period, where he had Van Beesbrook beaten, only to find the goalpost. Now Hunter comes out there with Bruce and Courtnall, Stevens and Johansson working the point.
Miller from Langway and Tucker back in the first period. That was the Washington scoring play. At the point, here's Johansson to keep it in as the Caps look for another one. Now over to Courtnall. Side of the net, Dale Hunter. Checked by Moeller and knocked down, and Rochefort turns, and the puck is cleared all the way down the ice. Johansson back to get it. Lead pass to Hunter. Right wing side, Courtnall. Checked at center ice, but picked up here by Stevens. Scott Stevens across the line. At the point, keeps it in. Dale Hunter chasing the puck. And it's cleared past Stevens out to center. And Broughton is in to take it. 35 seconds left in the Washington power play as King is off the ice for elbowing. Courtnall at the blue line, keeps it in to Druce, 2-on-1, a shot, hit the post, rebound! Oh, and Hunter could not find the handle. What an awful break. Druce puts it off the post, and Hunter had an open net and couldn't get a grip on it. Here's an offside call that'll bring the faceoff out to neutral ice, and what chances in front of that Ranger goal.
The Caps find themselves two men in front of a lone Ranger defender. John Druce, who has been the red-hot man, has had 2 goals in each of the last 2 games. Hits the inside of the post, and then again, a bounce to where Dale Hunter can't come up with it. Tries to backhand it. That puck is bouncing right there in the open net. A chance again for the Capitals to regain the lead, finding goalposts. All these bounces right now going against the Washington Capitals, and this Ranger crowd loving every minute of it.
Here's Lindy Ruff back to his own line. 5 seconds left in the power play. Long shot stopped by Liut. Langway into the corner. Checked on the play, and here comes Berglund out to center. Taken over by Bob Joyce in the left wing. He pushes it across the line. Joyce into the corner. Held up by Gartner on the play, and the puck frozen. Now it comes loose to Tucker. Back into the skates of Joyce. Gartner tries to kick it along the boards. Joyce fighting for a face-off in Ranger ice and holds it against the boards. That should be enough, and it is, as Terry Gregson blows the whistle to stop play. Both clubs at full strength. 15:23 to go in the third period.
As soon as customers walk in our store, they smell aroma, and they rush right over to the bakery. I don't think people realize that we make all of our cakes and our breads from scratch. Every day at 4 o'clock, we have French bread come right out of the oven hot, and people love it.
To see someone come up to the bakery and purchase something that I've made personally, it just gives me a feeling on the inside that, wow, that's nice.
All those glorious scoring chances the Capitals had late in their power play did not get an official shot on goal. He hit a goal post. It's not a shot on goal. They've had 7 shots on goal during their power plays for the entire game, as the Rangers penalty killing again has been a strong point tonight.
Face-off back to Scott Stevens now for Washington. He tries to get a shot off, but that's blocked, and the Rangers clear it all the way down. Liut stops it at the side of the net, leaves it there for Neil Sheehy, who is once again available to bring some help back to the Washington defense corps. Here's Sheehy. Leads it ahead to Murray. Murray across the blue line. Fans on a shot, now fires wide. And the puck goes into the corner. Moeller leads it ahead to Kissio. All the way back out to center ice. Ogrodnik charging into the left wing corner. Sheehy takes it away, throws it off the backboards, and over now on the left wing boards. It is Nick Kyprios trying to gain possession. Here's Scott Stevens to help out. He's held up on the play. Sheehy ties up right in front, and a shot to the side of the net. Kissio looking for the puck. Held in the corner. Play continues. Stevens in to try and hold up, and now we get a whistle, and there's going to be a tripping penalty call coming. This is against the Washington Capitals.
Chevrolet introduces the bigger-than-ever 4-door Chevy S10 Blazer. Now America's best-loved sport utility vehicle gives you 25% more cargo room and 100% more doors. The bigger-than-ever, better-than-ever 1991 4-door S10 Blazer. Open one and see why nobody's winning life.
Heartbeat of America. Chevrolet. Tank truck is Chevrolet.
Great work from the Kissio Ogrodnik Mullen line, forcing the Capitals into a penalty. Neil Sheehy gets called for tripping at 5:46. Look at the way this puck keeps getting jammed alive. Sheehy comes out there. Now watch as he comes back. Kissio comes into that corner, and they're right there. Mullen is taken down by Sheehy. Mullen was taken down once before that. Gregson let it go, but not the second time, and the Rangers on the power play.
Here's Moeller. Out to Millette. And Ridley works it free, and it comes out of the zone. Chased by James Patrick, now back at center ice. Patrick to Gartner. Gartner on the right wing. Dumps it back into the Washington zone. In the corner, Bob Rouse to the point. Outside the line. James Patrick has to chase it. Offside called as it's touched inside Washington ice with Millette stuck in the Capital zone.
Millette having some words with Terry Gregson, felt he was robbed illegally in the corner. Rangers have closed the gap in terms of shots. Caps with 24. The Rangers now up to 22.
Tie game, 1-1, 13:45 to play, third period. James Patrick over to Millette, throws it back into the Washington zone. Here's Gardner to keep it in. Now Rouse slams it off the boards. At the point, it's kept in. Nichols trying to center and cleared all the way down the ice by Kelly Miller. Caps changing up. Here comes Moeller to the blue line of Washington. He's hit on the play, throws it in behind the goal. Gardner in the corner to get it. Puts it back of the net. Centering pass. Grabbed by Tim Berglund. And Berglund skates ahead to center. 3-on-2. The Caps shorthanded. Here comes Berglund. Skating in, fires, and a save, and now it's cleared wide. We've got a penalty call coming for cross-checking. And this is against the Rangers, and that'll help the Capitals with only 44 seconds left in the Sheehy penalty. There'll be 4 skaters aside, and then after Sheehy comes back, Washington will have 1 minute and 16 seconds of power play time.
Well, Bob Rouse jumped up nicely on the play, forcing a 3-on-2, and Rochefort trying to finish off John Druce. Cross-checks him. Tim Berglund keeping the puck alive with his skates. Druce and Berglund coming out. Rouse then on that left wing side. And once John Druce starts cutting to the front of the net, it's chopped to the back by Rochefort. Penalty call against the Rangers. 4-on-4 hockey now.
Time of the penalty call, 7:02. Rochefort for cross-checking. Druce was lucky he wasn't injured, Al, the way he hit that goal.
Bounced pretty quickly back up. This is also a dangerous situation, Mike. Remember, the Rangers in Game 2 scored a 4-on-4 goal. As a shot hit off the knee of Kelly Kissio and passed down Beaupre. Rob Murray and Kelly Miller out there, 2 defensive-minded players, come out while you've got Kerry Wilson and John O'Graddick, 2 offensive-minded players. Those are the dueling forwards right now for both clubs. So the Rangers looking to try and maybe take advantage here with a little open ice. The Caps playing is very defensive.
Here's James Patrick in behind his own goal. 25 seconds until Sheehy comes out. Lindy Ruff off the skates of Kelly Miller. Back into the corner again. Now played behind the net. James Patrick skates it ahead to center ice. Dumps it in, right wing side. Liut with it behind the goal, gives it to Langway, and Rod Langway starts out. Here comes Langway to the center line. Fires it into the Ranger zone. Caps changing up. Sheehy's out of the box, and Washington has the man advantage. Lead pass off the boards and cleared all the way down the ice. Liut out quickly to move it along now to Courtnall. Courtnall feeds it ahead to Druce on right wing. He goes left side, and Hunter diving at the blue line to clear it to the Ranger line, but Moeller sends it all the way down. 51 seconds to go in power play time for Washington. The Capitals' Courtnall skates to center. He's inside the Ranger zone. Jeff Courtnall flipping it up high and sending that over the glass. And out of play. Courtnall had 5 shots on goal during the second period of this contest. Sent this one up too high.
Well, if there is a 6th game in this series, it will be played at the Capitol Center on Sunday night at 7:05 p.m. That'll be playoff game number 6 and ticket game letter F. All those tickets on sale right now for Sunday night's game. You can pick them up at all Hex Ticket Center outlets or call phone charge. You've got a few minutes left to do that at 432-0200. And if there is a Sunday night game at 7:05, Capitol Management once again requesting all the fans wear white.
Frozen puck from the faceoff. Caps can prevent the necessity of a 6th game right here by just popping one past Van Beesbrook and putting them in the lead. And if they can shut the Rangers down with some remaining time, then they could get the job done. Right now they have the power play for 35 more seconds. Here's Courtnall, a slap shot just wide. Now over to Scott Stevens. To Hunter in the corner, now picked up by John Druce. Druce on the power play. Back to Hunter. Back to Druce. To Hunter behind the goal. Off his stick into the corner. He's wrestled along the sideboards. And it is taken away. And here comes Mark Janssens to center ice. Now we have a whistle. And a bit of a tussle getting started in the corner now, back behind the play. And the linesmen come in there. And Swede Knox and Randy Mitten trying to do some work here in pulling apart these two players.
Hunter and Greshner.
Behind the action.
Well, they had something going right at that last whistle that forced the face-off and started all this action. Once those two came together one more time, they wouldn't let go. Sure, Terry Gregson will probably make coincidental penalty calls right now. Just 10 seconds remain in the Capitals' power play. Now everybody else goes up ice. Except these two.
Dale Hunter, number 4 of the Rangers, Rod Redford. Each received 2 minutes for roughing. The time 8:52. Dale Hunter, Ron Dresser, 2 minutes each for roughing at 8:52.
8:52, the time of the penalty calls for roughing to Hunter and Greshner. Power play continues for the Capitals for another 10 seconds. But the Rangers get the draw, and James Patrick clears it all the way down. Liut leaves it behind the net. Penalty's over. Rochefort is back on the ice and skates to the Ranger bench. Here comes Kelly Miller across the line. Miller into the corner. Backs it up. Bob Rouse's shot wide. Now Leach reaches for the rebound, but is held away by James Patrick. Here comes Brian Mullen with the puck. Mullen to center ice. Dumps it into the Capital zone. Now Ogrodnik bumped on the play, and the puck taken by Rouse behind the net. Worked loose from him. And here's Ogrodnik to Ruff, trying to center, and Steve Leach breaks it up. Here comes Kelly Miller with the puck. Throws it all the way down the ice, back inside the Rangers zone as the Caps complete their line change. The Rangers changing up as well. Mike Gartner into the Washington zone. Jumps to avoid a hit from Sheehy. Langway in to chase him. Now back of the goal. Here's a centering pass off Sheehy and taken out by Ridley. Joyce to center ice. Here's Bob Joyce, right side. Berglund fakes the shot, and as he held up because the play was called offside. You're watching the Stanley Cup playoffs on WDCA.
Advantage Jeep vehicles. Others copy, none compare. Advantage Eagle. New looks in performing art. Advantage Savings. Guaranteed cash back on Jeep Cherokees. New Eagle Premieres. Hot new Eagle Talons. And Jeep Wranglers. During the Guaranteed Advantage Sellathon, the only advantage you don't have is time.
See your National Capital Area Jeep and Eagle dealer, where you can expect the best.
Game 4's unlikely hero, Rod Langway, out there now working with Neil Sheehy, with Kevin Hatcher gone for the rest of tonight's contest. Mike, again, no shots on goal for the Capitals during that last power play. It's 2 power plays in a row that they have yet to put a shot on John Van Beesbroek.
Here's Langway, a slap shot, knocked down, and Gartner held up by Langway on the play. Bob Joyce firing, and it goes just wide. Back into the corner. Here's Bernie Nichols for the Rangers. Backs it up for Rochefort. Over to Moeller, and now out to center ice, and it skims past Sheehy into the corner. Langway goes back after it. And the whistle blows. It's an icing call here against the Rangers. I'd be very wary of face-offs in your own zone at this point, Alex. Likely, I think, that the next goal scored could come right off a face-off. It could be one of those plays that happens very, very quickly. And the Rangers icing the puck here are allowing that situation to be set up in their own end.
Particularly the way the Caps have done a nice job of winning draws and certainly jamming the net for those point men to shoot and get some sort of deflection or screen. We understand right now at the Boston Garden, also a tie score, 1-1 between the Canadiens and the Boston Bruins. That's in the third period.
Rob Murray, the Capitals' best face-off man, leans in here and is beaten by Kerry Wilson. James Patrick, long lead pass to center ice. Back inside the Washington zone. And here's Bob Rouse behind the net. Tied up on the play. Scott Stevens over to get it, up the right wing boards. And Al May pushes it to the point. It's kept in by Rupp. Stevens has it behind the goal, up the left wing. Out to center ice and chipped inside the Ranger end. Here goes Rupp after it. Flips it ahead to the blue line. Paul Broughton dumps it back into the Washington zone. And Kyprios is there to feed it to Bob Rouse. Here comes Rouse to the blue line, up to center. Rouse a 3-on-3 rush. Passes for Kyprios, but it gets away and is cleared back inside the Ranger end. At the next stoppage in play, we'll see Gresher and Hunter again become available to their teams. They're in the penalty box now. Langway off the boards and clears it to Kelly Miller. Out to center ice, Rochefort finds Mullen on the right wing. Here comes Mullen across the line. He's around Langway. Cutting in, backhand shot. Save made by Liut. And the rebound cleared by Johansson up to Leach. Now to Calle Johansson. Johansson to the blue line. Throws it in front, trying to find Ridley. But Mullen flips it back out to center ice. Played at the red line. Here's Steve Leach. At the blue line of New York. Gets jammed up by Rochefort. Sheehy reaches for it, but Leach takes over, backs it up for Courtnall. And Courtnall dumps it inside Ranger territory. 7:40 to go, third period. The game tied 1-1. A win for Washington tonight clinches the series and sends them to the Wales Conference Finals. Here's Nichols. Again returning it to the Capital zone. Each team has hit goalposts tonight on several occasions. Here comes Rob Murray to center, right wing side. Passes it off Courtnall into the corner. Courtnall and Ruff collide, and James Patrick is back to get the puck. Patrick feeds it out for Nichols. And again, it's broken up and sent back to center. Lindy Ruff over to James Patrick. Back inside the Washington zone. Here is Rouse up the boards. John Druce there to take it. Jams up with Mike Gartner. The puck played to the point. Moeller keeps it in. Throws it behind the net. Here's Gartner trying to work it loose. Finds Erickson on the boards. Rob Murray helps out and moves it along. And finally, it's played all the way back to the line by Bob Joyce. Capitals change up. Here comes Nichols across the line. He goes right wing. Moeller fires. Liut deflects that wide. Now Langway starts ahead. Has it taken away from Tucker. Here's a shot just wide of the Washington goal. Now another drive from the left wing side by Broughton. That's stopped by Liut. And Langway leads it ahead to Tucker. Played off the boards now for Joyce at center ice. He can't get past Moeller. Back come the Rangers. An offside called here against Bernie Nichols of New York. 6 minutes, 2 seconds to go. Third period. We're tied at 1.
Every day, it makes things happen. The Matchmaker. The C&P telephone yellow pages. Every day, it goes to work. Every day, it matches more buyers with more sellers. Every day, we use it and use it more.
Excuse me. Can I use this?
The genuine C&P telephone yellow pages. No other book can match it. A Bell Atlantic company.
We played 13 minutes and 58 seconds of the third period. The Capitals have only put one shot on goal of the New York Rangers. They will come up with 7 against Mike Liut. So this Ranger team energized by that Rochefort goal. They've been getting some deep pressure on the Capital defense. Mullen was able to get around Langway a moment ago. A good pad save by Mike Liut.
The Rangers are playing the third period much the way the Caps played the first period. Washington needs to get back to the way they started this game. Here's a lead pass from the Washington zone for Ridley, but it's sent to the blue line of New York, and Ogrodnik takes it there. Now Ridley in to chase John Ogrodnik. Ties him up in the corner. The puck is loose. And picked up now by Kissio. Out to Mullen. Mullen turns to avoid Sheehy. Walks in. Ogrodnik fires. And a save made by Liut in the Washington net. Back come the Capitals. Here's Leach out to center to Kelly Miller. Miller across the line. Walking in. passes, and Ridley is broken up on the play. The Rangers come back. Kissio to center. Across the Capitals line. Sheehy chases him to the corner and jams him up. Knocks him to the ice. The puck lies beneath them, and there'll be a face-off here in the Washington zone with 5:07 left in the third period.
And there's some dog-tired players out there. Kelly Kissio very slow in getting up. Both Stephen Leach and Kelly Miller bent over as they glide back to the Capital bench. Well, be sure to be with WDCA TV 20 either Tuesday night for Game 7 of this series between the Caps and the Rangers, or Thursday night for Game 1 of the Wales Conference Finals against either the Boston Bruins or Montreal Canadiens. Either way, the game will start at 7:30 p.m., and you'll see all the action right here on WDCA TV 20. Rob Murray now getting another key assignment to take this draw. Last time he matched up against Kerry Wilson in the Ranger zone, Wilson won the draw. Millette out there with Wilson and Broughton. Rochefort and Moeller working the points. Alan May is out there for the Capitals as well.
Caps get the draw, and here's Langway with it behind the net. Up the boards now for Tim Berglund. Out to center ice for Rob Murray. Murray across the line with May and throws it into the corner. May hustles in behind the net to take out his man. The puck cleared up the boards. At the point, Rouse keeps it in, but fires up high and wide. Now Johansson from the left point skating in. A deflection right across the goal mouth. And the Caps have some pressure on here in the Ranger zone. Now in the corner, Rochefort puts it behind the net for Moeller. Moeller can't get rid of it. Murray keeps it inside the New York zone. Here's Nick Kyprios pushing it back into the corner. Rochefort back to play it. Behind the net. Kerry Wilson jams up with Kyprios and is forced against the boards with the puck underneath him. And that'll mean another face-off here in Ranger ice. Oh, don't forget our coverage tonight of Washington Capitals hockey is brought to you by Langway Sports Club. And that is the place to be for all the big sporting events. I can guarantee you all those TVs are cooking tonight with this action on their screens. Langway's is located in Lanham, Maryland, right off exit 20A.
Mike, that was a big shift from Murray, Kyprios, and Alan May. But plenty of big hits, got some good pressure, and forced this face-off with 4:21 left in the Ranger end. Now you've got Hunter, Druce, and Fortnall out there with Stevens and Rouse. Randy Moeller getting a little attention. Cut right above the lip, below the nose.
Rangers control this draw, and here comes James Patrick to start out. Leads it back to center ice. Rouse again dumps it on into the Ranger end. A bouncing puck, and Van Beesbrook handles it, then decides to cover up and stop play.
Besides also forcing that face-off, that shift allowed Hunter a little extra blow at the bench. Certainly allowed the Ridley, Miller, and Leach line a little extra time to get their win back. So that was a big fourth-line shift from that Capital group.
At the point, here's Scott Stevens, winding, firing just wide, rebound, and it's loose at the side of the goal. Fortnall tries to center for Hunter, but he's held up on the play, and the Rangers clear it out to the Washington line.
Boy, it looked like Fortnall could have wheeled around the net and had a better situation. He tried to dump it back in front, hoping for a deflection, but one of his main men, Dale Hunter, was still on his rear end.
Bob Rouse has certainly earned his money tonight, hasn't he?
He has had such a great playoff series for the Capitals. And, you know, all that talk about the Dino Ciccarelli trade, when Dino was so hot against the New Jersey Devils, and how it worked out to the advantage of the Capitals, was really no mention that Bob Rouse also came over in that deal, and how it gives the Capitals another playoff type of defenseman, a physical guy, a guy to do the hand-to-hand combat in front of the net. That's the type of playoff goal, the playoff defense that you're getting from Bob Rouse.
At the point, James Patrick, a high drive up off the glass. Now on the right wing, here comes John Druce to center. Inside the Ranger zone. They freeze it against the sideboards, and Terry Gregson again blows a whistle. meaning that there'll be a face-off in the New York end. Well, the shots are even, 25 to 25. Score tied, 1-1. 3:32 left in the third period, but in the number of games in this series, it is not even. Washington has won 3. The New York Rangers have won only 1, and the Capitals could move on, probably with only 1 goal here, with so little time remaining.
It's Tucker out there now to take this draw against Kelly Kissio.
Tucker wins the draw. Back to Sheehy, and his blast goes wide of the net. Now here's Mullen to pick it up. Mullen sends to center ice. It bounces back into the Washington zone, and Sheehy is there to take it. Sheehy leads it to center ice. Moeller dumps it right back in. Ogrodnik picks it up out of center. Over to Lindy Ruff. Ruff drives it back inside the Washington zone, but the play is offside against New York. So there'll be a face-off in neutral ice. You know, you look back to the last time these two teams met in the playoffs in 1986. And the Rangers went to the semifinals after beating the Capitals in 6 games. And on that Ranger bench today, only James Patrick, Jan Eriksson, and John Van Beesbrook played against the Capitals in that series. Kelly Miller and Mike Ridley, of course, were Rangers. And Mike Gartner, for all the abuse he has taken for not performing in the playoffs, in that series against the New York Rangers 2 years ago, had 2 goals and 8 assists and 10 points, and was a +6 against the New York Rangers. But the Caps have made it to the second round in 1984, 86, 88, and now 1990. And the farthest they have ever gone was to a 7th game against the Devils in 1988. Here's a backhand shot wide of the Washington net. Caps hoping to eclipse the past and move on to where they have never been, a conference final. And all they need to do tonight is win this game. Kerry Wilson skates to center, gets across the line, drops it off for King, a slap shot. Sheehy blocks that, goes in the air right to the side of the goal, and Liut is there to make the catch. Led out of the zone to center ice, and Rochefort is back to pick it up. Left side now for Mullen. Held up on the play by Kelly Miller. Good back checking there by Miller, and that gave Rouse some time to move the puck to Stevens. Tipped out of the zone to center ice. At the red line, here's Kelly Miller again inside the Ranger zone. Miller coming on, tripped up at the side of the net. The puck centered and slapped to the corner. And now a power play for Washington. 2-minute tripping call as Miller was hit at the side of the net. Perhaps the door has opened just a crack.
Wow. You don't often see referees in these situations make calls like this, particularly against the home team. Miller was taken down, and the Capitals are very lucky that Terry Gregson is one of the quality referees in this case. Kelly Miller, look at that dynamite move he makes. Then when he cuts in towards the net, he makes one more move, and the leg comes out from Mullen, tripping him down. When you see it on that replay, boy, that is awful tough to make a call like that. Randy Moeller right now pointing up to the clock saying, hey, there's 1:54 left to go. You're going to call that right now? But Kelly Miller's drive to the net gives the Capitals a chance to win this hockey game outright.
Well, they'll certainly finish off regulation time with a power play advantage here, and if they can score, the crowd coming alive again here at Madison Square Garden, trying to prevent that. Johansson sends it over to the point. Scott Stevens at the side of the goal, centers it. It's knocked down. Courtnall back to the point. Johansson a drive, a save by Van Beesbrook.
John Van Beesbrook very quick to get out with John Druce trying to poke at that puck. Johansson, high shot, that yields a rebound. And there's John Druce just about ready to get a stick on it in the spot that he has scored a ton of goals in this series. Rochefort paying close attention to Hunter. But John Van Beesbrook looking very sharp there. Gets the blocker pad on it, and then for John Druce, he pounce on the loose puck. Force the faceoff.
Van Beesbrook watching intently to his left as Hunter leans in for the draw here against New York's Kelly Kissio. Washington power play. Puck cleared by Moeller, back to the point. Scott Stevens, a shot. Knocked down in front, rebound, goes just wide of the goal. Back into the corner again. Here's John Druce to dig it out. He gets knocked to the ice. The puck loose, back to the point. Johansson, a drive. And now a whistle and a tripping penalty call coming. And this is against Washington. Inside the Ranger zone. The Capitals' John Druce gets called for tripping. And that ends the power play.
A 2-minute tripping penalty has been set to number 19 of Washington, John Druce. John Druce receives 2 minutes for tripping. The time 18:37.
Well, Terry Gregson giveth and he taketh away. Now you've got 4-on-4 hockey. St. John Druce reached out right back there to prevent Moeller from getting back to the play.
Jas Mead, Druce was reacting to that rough treatment he got in the corner, which could have been interpreted as interference.
Now this really is a fascinating situation. 4-on-4 hockey. How many times, Mike, have we seen when we have had 4-on-4 hockey, 3-on-2 rushes going, and then the other team counterattacking with a 3-on-2 of their own?
Play underway back inside the Ranger zone. Nichols to Gartner on right wing. Gartner winds, fires, pass save by Liu. Puck cleared off the boards, out to Ridley. Taken over again by Gartner. We're in the final minute of play in regulation time. Here's Stevens, a slap shot. Patrick blocked that. Now in behind the net. Gartner tries to dig it out. Brings it back to the point. Here's Rouse, a slap shot. And kicked up into the crowd by Van Beesbrook.
Boy, Bob Rouse was ready to back out of the zone, but he looked around, saw that puck coming to him, came in and put a bullet that Van Beesbrook got the stick on, deflected it into the stands. Here comes Mike Gartner. Gets a little room on that outside, drills a hard, low shot. Down comes the pad of Liu, puts it there for Stevens, and Scott Stevens comes back the other way. Then watches Mike Gartner tries to clear it out of the zone, loses it. And John Van Beesbrook with one more spectacular sprawling save on that high hard one from Bob Rouse. Have to get a faceoff though in the Ranger end. 46 seconds left in regulation. It's going to be Dale Hunter against Bernie Nichols. Now they want Jan Eriksson to move over a little bit. See if Hunter can now win this draw. He was going to try and get it back to Scott Stevens on the forehand. Now that he lines up with that back, now the forehand side again.
The draw goes to the corner, and Rochefort pokes it behind the net for Moeller. And Moeller flips it out to center ice. Picked up and thrown off the stick of Hunter by Rouse. Played to center. Berglund racing in to try and catch Gartner, and clears it out of the zone to center ice. Rochefort, right side. Moeller dumps it in. 20 seconds left in regulation time. Here's Nichols jamming up. Gartner to the point. Rochefort a drive, and it's kicked wide by Liu. Now turned around by Nichols. Nichols walking in. Kyprios holds him off. Now a shot. That's just wide of the Washington net. Nichols to chase it. 3 seconds left in regulation time. Stevens clears out of the zone. And we're headed for sudden death overtime for the second game in a row. Shots on goal in the third period. Washington with only 4 for a 3-period total of 28. And the New York Rangers with 9 shots, giving them 26 after 3 periods of play. Rochefort's second goal of the playoffs ties us up, and it's 1-1. And we're headed to an overtime, sudden death overtime session.
These movies have to be back tomorrow, right?
Relax. With Blockbuster Video's 3-evening rentals, you can watch new releases like Casualties of War from RCA Columbia Pictures Home Video. Michael J. Fox.
You don't have to try and kill me, man. I told them. And they don't care!
Sean Penn.
You think you're standing up to me?
Casualties of War. Rated R from RCA Columbia Pictures Home Video. More movies, more nights, more fun.
Blockbuster Video. Wow, what a difference!
It had to be you.
This Buick Regal looks great. And that's good.
Right. Sure looks expensive.
Does it?
You bet.
That's good.
Why?
Surprise. This car can be had for under $15,000.
Really? Under $15,000? With air conditioning, automatic with overdrive, AM/FM stereo, reclining seats, tilt wheel? That's great.
That's Buick.
See your Washington area Buick dealer today. He'll put you in a Buick for less.
That's a lot of car for under $15,000.
Here's the last stop on our tour. The Fountain of Youth.
This one's on me.
How about a nice cold bud, young man?
I love this job.
One airline has had the best record for on-time dependability for as long as records have been kept. American Airlines. And when an airline runs on time, it tells you that schedules are reliable, maintenance is impeccable, and that one airline is committed to being the very best. American Airlines, the on-time machine.
Want to know more about talking to your children about AIDS? Send for a free information guide. Call 1-800-342-AIDS.
We are back here at Madison Square Garden in New York on WDCA TV 20 Sports. The Washington Capitals and the New York Rangers are headed to overtime here in Game 5. Tied 1-1. Caps lead the series 3-1. Jeff Rimmer back here in our WDCA studios. And a pleasure to welcome Caps defenseman Scott Kleinendorf. Scott, some anxious moments here in the third period. I thought maybe the Capitals were going to come through.
It was an exciting period, and the Caps played extremely well, but unfortunately for us, so did the New York Rangers, coming up with the only goal. I think the goaltenders have been key. Johnny Van Beesbrook for the Rangers has made a few big saves, and of course Michael Youth has been extremely confident in the net, but I think it's going to come down to just somebody making one mistake and put it in, and could be the end of the game. Might be now or midnight.
Both these teams, of course, would like to win for obvious reasons. Rangers to stay alive and the Capitals to end the series without having to go back to the Capitol Center for Game 6 and some more anxious moments on Sunday night.
Well, you can see how the New York Rangers have been dumping the puck and really putting everything they've got into the third period, and I'm sure it's not going to stop. You know, they want to force this game back into the Cap Center. They know it's going to be a long, hard way back to win tonight and the next game, but that's their only hope, and they're not going to stop now.
Now, we saw the Capitals win Game 4 on home ice. Rod Langway's big goal, easily his biggest goal in his National Hockey League career. Can we expect to see the Rangers, being on their home ice, to come out and really kind of force the play in the Capital zone early on in overtime?
I think so. I don't think you're going to see anything out of the ordinary. I think they're just going to go in and say, you know, hey, we come back, we tied the game through hard work, through body checks, and that's what they're going to do. Terry's going to tell our guys that we've been in the game because we've had a lot of body checks and a lot of hard work. So we just want to, you know, keep the aggressive forecheck going, and like I said, hopefully that mistake happens in the New York end and somebody can put the puck in.
Let's hope it works to our benefit. Scott, thanks for the visit.
Thank you.
Scott Kleinendorf of the Washington Capitals. More of our overtime intermission here on WDCA, so stay tuned.
Giant knows that we cannot take any of our customers for granted. That the Consumer Bill of Rights is our reminder of what our responsibility is to our customers and what our responsibility is to ourselves. The Consumer Bill of Rights hangs in every Giant store and is a reminder of our commitment to the customer. Consumers do have the right to be informed, the right to be heard. All those issues are important to our customers, and because they're important to our customers, they're important to Giant.
The Waldorf Astoria, America's address for business and play. The Waldorf Astoria, in the heart of New York City. Shopping at America's finest stores. New York's famous skyline is all around you. The Waldorf Astoria, surrounded by all there is to see and do in America's most unusual city. The Waldorf Astoria. For reservations, call 212-355-3000.
The Britt Family presents another Britt Family video. This week's Deals on Wheels.
Thanks, kids. Family value at Ted Britt Ford means fully equipped Taurus sedans for just $224 a month. Or 8-passenger Taurus wagons for just $240 a month. Or Tempo GL, the best value in America, for just $164 a month. So come to Ted Britt Ford today.
The difference is we're family, and it's free loaner for life.
We're back live here on WDCA TV 20 Sports from Madison Square Garden in New York for the second straight game here in the Patrick Division Finals. We're headed to overtime. Jeff Rimmer, and rejoining us right now is Dino Cicerelli, our analyst for tonight's hockey game. And Dino, your first game as an analyst here on WDCA, and wouldn't you know it, you got to work overtime.
Well, it's unfortunate. We had the 1-goal lead, and they've been working hard. There's been, I think, 2 or 3 goal posts, but you're going into overtime, and everything is going to be so tight. Like the goal the other night that Rod got. Anytime you get a chance in overtime, you just want to get the puck on the net because defensively, both teams are going to be clearing everybody, trying to clear everybody in front of the net. You're not going to get 2-on-1s or anything. Just get it on the net, and hopefully it goes in off a leg or a rebound or a deflection.
Do you expect that, like we saw back at the Capitol Center on Wednesday night, this game will be ended early in overtime, hopefully with the Capitals winning?
Well, hopefully. I think there's definitely a lot of pressure on the Rangers to come out and try to get it right away. I think the guys are relaxed in there right now. They're going to go out and try to keep playing the same way and hopefully get a little offense going. Like I said, get the puck on the net, and hopefully we'll get another break.
All right, you mentioned Rod Langway's goal. Let's set the stage here and go back to Wednesday night. You can describe those anxious moments for us.
Well, there it was right there. Rod, he didn't get a lot on the shot, as you've seen. He just directed it at the net. The goalie said, you know, Richter didn't see it at all, and that's how a lot of the overtime goals are scored. There was a lot of traffic in front of the net, and again, just getting it on the net and hoping for a big break for us tonight.
All right, you're a sniper. Terry Murray was telling us after the win on Wednesday night, guys in the dressing room are really encouraging one another, saying, I'm going to get the goal, I'm going to get the goal. What exactly is going to happen here in overtime?
Well, the way it went the other night, Rod scoring, maybe Neil Sheehy will get the goal tonight. I don't know. I call for one of the offensive players, hopefully on our side, to get the goal. Maybe Jeff Cordinal, Dale Hunter. I talked to Kelly Miller in there, and he said he's due for a big goal. So the guys are talking in the dressing room right now, seeing who wants to score the goal. They're pumped up, and hopefully they'll come on and get the big one. Who are the guys that got to watch on the Rangers here in overtime? Well, definitely Nichols and Gardner. I think their coach Nielsen is he's gonna probably put their big line off the start. They obviously are going to go for it. They want to get it over in a hurry. I think the longer it goes, it's more in our favor because it's more pressure on them and in front of their fans. So I think you're going to see Gardner and Nichols play a lot in the first 5 minutes or so.
All right, Dino, some great insight. Stay tuned. More of our intermission and the first overtime from Madison Square Garden in New York. Caps and the Rangers tied 1-1.
Not 24, not 36, but 48. Full 48-month, 4.8 APR GMAC financing. That's music to your ears when you buy a new Pontiac Grand Am, Le Mans, Sunbird, or Grand Prix. Here's an extra for Grand Prix buyers, $1,000. 4.8 financing plus $1,000 cash back. See Bill Carnes, Tom Hatton, Wilson, Fred Beck, Nix, and Burdette Brothers Pontiac.
Each working day in Washington, D.C., hundreds of thousands of vehicles take to the streets. Now when they do, they'll have the opportunity to fill up with a reformulated gasoline. New Shell SU-2000E, designed to lower harmful hydrocarbon vapor emissions from your car. It won't end our city's air pollution, but it's a good beginning. So come to Shell, experience the difference, and make a difference.
Man, what a day. I could sure use a vacation.
Yeah, I'd like to be right here.
Ice cold bug.
Hey, maybe tomorrow we should bring the boss.
Nah.
For over 30 years, Northern Virginia has had one solid, sound financial choice, and that's carved in stone. Providence Savings, the solid choice. Well, we're all tied up 1-1, and we're ready to get started here before too long with sudden death overtime. We've completed 3 periods of tonight's game here on WDCA. Mike Fornes and Al Koken welcoming you back once again to our Stanley Cup telecast. And Nobody said it had to be finished in 3 periods. Just because we had an overtime game in Game 4 doesn't mean that the same thing can't happen here tonight. And, of course, that doesn't mean that the Caps can't win it in overtime. And what a way that would be to clinch this series.
Well, obviously, I mean, the Langway goal gave them great confidence now in playing in overtime. They've won an earlier game thanks to Dino Cicerelli against the New Jersey Devils. Go back to last year. Remember Kelly Miller finishing things off in the Spectrum in overtime. So they've got some confidence with their game in overtime, and they've obviously got guys who can deliver under the pinch like that. But, you know, it's unfortunate, as happy as we are to have Dino Cicerelli on our broadcast tonight. As I said in Game 4, this is where you miss a guy like that. Not only has he done it in the past, but it's those scrambly type of goals that he specializes in, and that, I think, is going to be the type of goal that wins it.
Face-offs will be important, and we've talked about them throughout the broadcast this evening. Again, you find yourself in a situation where you don't want to face off in your own zone.
No, and the other thing to remember, too, the Capitals have 6 seconds remaining to go before they have to kill off a penalty that had John Druce taking that penalty for a tripping. So at some point, the New York Rangers are going to have at least 29 seconds of power play time, and it's a pretty dangerous situation early in overtime like that, particularly if the Rangers are able to get a draw or get set up in the Capitals' end.
Stéphane Lebeau, who had a couple goals the other night for Montreal, scored again this evening to tie up the Bruins 1-1. But now Boston has scored late in the 3rd period. Let's take a look at the goal. This will be Glenn Wesley scoring here with only a minute and a half to go in the 3rd period of the game. And as that puck goes into the net past Patrick Roy, the Bruins have pulled ahead of the Canadians now 2-1 late in the 3rd. So it looks like Boston will finish the Canadians off. Here's another angle of that shot.
There's Wesley finishing things off. It came caroming back out. Patrick Roy never knew where that puck was. Looked behind him, came back out, and Wesley just stepped right into it. And you see, it's one of those goals that either there's traffic in front, a change of direction, something like that. You rarely see him end it on a breakaway like Hunter did it. That's the exception to the rule.
Well, the Rangers are in this overtime with the Capitals because of the 3rd period goal scored by Normand Rochefort. And by his value in this game, that's the reason we're going to sudden death.
Well, now you see what happens. Jan Eriksson has a couple whacks at it. Again, the 3rd chance at it goes wide. Now watch what happens. When Nichols comes up with it, the puck is going to get cleared up along the boards. Langway tries to send it up. Now Liut has been backed into the net, knocked down. It's just a flipping puck, but because Mike Liut is trying to see where it is, he's off balance. A shot that from a guy, Normand Rochefort, almost like Langway, not known for his goal scoring, wasn't a hard shot, but because Liut was off balance, they found the net, and it was an early goal. That really provided a big lift for the Rangers.
Here's our 3rd period look at the Volkswagen intermission stats as the Caps take to the ice surface. 1-1 the score. 9-4, the Rangers out shooting the Caps in the 3rd. 0 for 3, Washington on the power play. 0 for 1, the Rangers. 6 minutes in penalties for the Caps and 8 for New York. Our Volkswagen intermission statistics are brought to you by your Washington area Volkswagen dealers. That's where you'll find Farfignugan. That is what makes a car a Volkswagen. We'll be back with overtime hockey here in Madison Square Garden after this.
I'm Bob Peck, and for almost 50 years, I've been giving you the best Chevy deals in town. So before you pay more, check with Peck. There'll never be a better time to save with Bob Peck.
When you work at it, you get good. When you do it every day, you get better. It's called consistency. Success is often measured by how much you play. If you don't play, you can't win. Don't miss your chance to win $500 playing your favorite 3-digit number or $5 grand playing your favorite 4-digit number, because you never know when it's your lucky day. DC Lucky Numbers and DC4, both from the DC Lottery.
Time is slipping away, and your chance to save 51% on a Gold Charter membership celebrating the grand opening of the new Bally's Holiday in Wheaton is almost gone. Your last chance to get the latest equipment and facilities and 30 years experience all at 51% off is disappearing into thin air. That's 51% off at Bally's Holiday across from Wheaton Plaza. But hurry, these are the final days, and with an offer this good, unless you call now, you won't have a ghost of a chance of seeing it again.
And Rangers back out on the ice. This crowd is ready to go. Caps, of course, this season in the playoffs, 2-0 in sudden death overtime games. Lifetime, they are 6-5. Longest overtime ever, of course, 68 minutes, 47 seconds. Back on April 18th in '87 against the Islanders when they lost to that Pat LaFontaine shot. And, of course, the shortest just the other night. The Rod Langway getting the winner 34 seconds into the extra session. But you think about Mike Ridley hitting a goal post, and then you think about, in the third period, John Druce hitting a goal post, with Dale Hunter unable to come up with that rebound into a wide open net. The Capitals certainly had a chance to put this game away, and right now they've got overtime to work against with a fired-up New York Ranger crowd ready to go, and it's 4-on-4 hockey to start. 6 seconds remaining in the penalty to Mullen. Then the Rangers will have a power play.
New York is winless in 2 chances of sudden death overtime in the playoffs. They were beaten by the Islanders, the only game the Islanders won in the first round, and then by the Caps the other night. Here's a shot by Ridley off the arm of Van Beesbrook. He looked a little shaky on that. Here's Patrick over to get it. Leads it out to center ice. Kissio dumps it back inside the Washington zone. Liut leaves it behind the net. Stevens up the boards and back out to center ice. Washington 2-1-6 in regular season overtime. The Rangers 2-2-13. Rouse sends it out to center. Here's Hunter across the line. Anytime a team is inside the blue line, you have to consider them a threat. And here's Hunter with the puck, turning it around. Tries to bring it out, but Mullen is there to steal it. Up to Kissio, dumps it back into the Washington zone, and a high shot off the arm of Liut, and taken by Stevens. It rolled right off Liut's shoulder, and oh my, how much closer can you come? That could just as easily have rolled right down his back and into the net, but it didn't, and it's still 1-1.
It's just unbelievable. Mike Liut has played a strong game, and here has got to be the biggest save of the night. Ogrodnik, and you see the difference at the Capital Center. Kissio dumps that in, it just sits there, and Rouse could probably beat Ogrodnik to it. Here it comes bounding back out. Ogrodnik gets it. The hard drive on, Liut stopping it, having it pop up in the air, roll down his back almost like some sort of acrobatic trick. Like a juggler would be working with the ball and rolling it behind his back, down his arms, and Stevens helped save the day as well.
Here's Scott Stevens to play it all the way down the ice, and this will be an icing call now against Washington as Rochefort is back together. The Bruins game is over in Boston. They scored on an empty net goal as the Canadians had pulled Patrick Roy in favor of a 6th attacker. So that one ends up 3-1. The Bruins are the winners in the Adams division, and they will face the winner of the Patrick division. And the Caps could be the team if they score here in overtime.
Just another reason for the Capitals to wrap it up now. They don't want to have to play a 6th and possibly 7th game. They need some rest, particularly with an additional injury to Kevin Hatcher tonight. The Boston Bruins were pretty banged up as well. Will certainly have some time.
Offside the call here at the New York blue line against John Druce, who came in before the puck.
Understand Cam Neely was the man who got the empty net goal to seal things for the Bruins. And talk about ridding some old ghosts. The Boston Bruins, every time in the playoffs, always seem to have the Montreal Canadiens standing in their way of playoff success. But they vanquished the Habs in 5 games.
Hunter wins the faceoff from Nichols. Back to Langway. Now over to Neil Sheehy. He dumps it back inside the New York zone. Played off the boards by Moeller. Here comes Moeller out to center ice. Jan Eriksson. Right wing pass for Gartner. Taken away by Langway, but now Nichols winds up and fires. The play's offside as Liut makes the save anyway.
Jan Eriksson just now getting up at center ice. Roger Nielsen has consistently kept Eriksson out there to go against John Druce when Hunter's line is there. He's matched Eriksson up, replaced Millette with Eriksson out there on that line with Nichols and Gartner. Where Jan Eriksson gets clipped and popped by Dale Hunter and knocked down. Eriksson now back to the bench. Kerry Wilson, Broughton, and Millette is the new line. Wilson getting a lot of ice time now because of Turcotte's injury.
Wilson a -5 in the playoffs coming into this game with a -7 in this series alone. Hasn't seen that much ice time. Here's a lead pass to Tucker. He climbs to center, 3-on-3, fakes, takes the slap shot, and it's deflected. Now right in front of the net, and Beesbrook has to scoop it up and stops play.
This is a situation, you touched on it earlier, Mike, where face-offs become vital. The team that can start dominating in the face-off department in these critical draws. You've got the game hanging on the line, and so many of these situations, you win a face-off, jam the front of the net, shot comes flying in from the point that the goaltender never sees. Crazy caroms, where Van Beesbroek with the good reactions right there. Mike Ridley out there to take the draw. He comes out with Leach and Miller. Kelly Kissio is going to go against him.
Ridley wins the draw, but as it's taken back to the point by Leach, it gets away from Johansson. He chases into his own zone. Lead pass out to Kelly Miller. Here comes Miller. Fires on goal, and Beesbrook to save. Brodnick waits in the corner. The puck cleared out of the zone to center ice. Now Scott Stevens will take it to Kelly Miller. Dump back inside the Ranger zone. Leach cuts in behind Van Beesbrook. Brodnick to the point. Stepped in. Now Leach a turnaround shot. And Beesbrook sticks that aside. James Patrick followed up against the board. Here's Mullen starting out. To Kissio. Stevens leads it to Miller. He dumps it in. The Caps change up on the fly. Here's Gresham to start out. Comes it all the way down. The Caps nearly got caught with too many men on the ice during the line change. Now here's Scott Stevens. Back out to center. Knocked down by John Tucker. Tucker across the blue line. Has it taken away by Rochefort. Lead pass on the right wing for Nichols. Played behind the net by Liut. And John Tucker starts back. Here's a 3-on-2 rush. Tucker on the right wing. Gets across the blue line. Sheehy wants the puck. There's the pass. A shot. A save. A rebound by Van Beesbroek. And the Rangers clear it out. Up on the right wing. Here's Nichols. He fires, and a save by Liut. Drops it behind the net. Now for Langway. Rod Langway starts to center. Carries across the line. Passes it to Bob Joyce. Joyce right in front, and Gartner is able to sweep it away. Now here's Hunter. Looking for Druce, taken away by Nichols, and he skates to center. Langway challenges him at the blue line. Nichols keeps going with the puck into the corner. Now Courtnall back to pick it up, but Erickson takes it away. Broughton keeps it in. Rouse stands up to him. Here's Broughton. Turn around, fires! Off the side of the net. Cleared behind the net. Nichols has the puck, taken away by Courtnall. Now Nichols reaching for it again, and it's played up the boards. Ruff keeps it inside the line to Broughton. Rink wide it goes. Everyone's standing here in the Garden. In behind the net, it's Langway. Right side. The pass out to Courtnall off his skates to the blue line of New York. Courtnall coming on, a pass on Van Beesbroek. Robs John Druce by sliding out in front and knocking the puck off his stick. Marvelous goaltending at both ends of the ice. Here's a clearing pass off Erickson, taken away, and now Ridley to Druce. Right in front, a shot. The Caps pressuring still in the Ranger zone, but it's held against the side of the New York net.
Great chances at both ends of the ice. Jeff Courtnall coming up. He's got Druce and Hunter to work with. Gets it in front to Druce, but John Van Beesbroek sprawls to save the day. And before that, Tucker sets up Neil Sheehy in the slot. That puck is bouncing, shoots high. Van Beesbroek stops the first shot, then rallies over to get that second one. And remember when Dino Ciccarelli almost in jest said, well, if Rod Langway scored the other night, I guess it's going to be Neil Sheehy tonight. That prophecy almost came true. Neil Sheehy would love to have that shot again. That puck was bouncing up a little bit. Couldn't settle it down, I don't think, the way he wanted to. And when he did drill the shot, it was right into the midsection of Van Beesbroek. He has been spectacular in this overtime.
Here's Moeller with the puck, clears it off the boards and out to center ice. Stolen now by Mike Ridley. Given up to Mullen. He plays it out to center. Here's a 2-on-2. Ogrodnik across the line. In with Kissio. Scott Stevens blocks it away. Now in behind the net. Here's Mullen trying to center off the side of the goal, and Stevens bounces it back to the corner. Kelly Miller in to work it away. Over to Scott Stevens. Stevens ahead to center ice. Now to Ridley at the blue line. He and Leach get in one another's way. The puck cleared to center, and Sheehy fires it right back into the Ranger zone. Now it's cleared all the way down the ice. This is offside if Ogrodnik gets there to touch it. And there's the whistle. It's an icing call if he doesn't, because Sheehy touches it. So the faceoff comes back inside the Ranger zone.
Oh, good thing Neil Sheehy played that a little nonchalantly. I don't know if you realized it was going to be an icing call. I think he was about to settle for the offside call, but this icing call definitely brings the faceoff deep into the Ranger end, and a much better opportunity for the Capitals to work something off the draw. Well, it's been basically a two-line overtime for Roger Nielsen. Terry Murray's gone with 3 lines. He's got his third line out there of Joyce, Berglund, and Tucker out there now. Now Kerry Wilson, who's had one other shift this period, comes out there, except he's going to remain there with Mike Gartner. So a little mixing and matching going on. Gartner out there, along with Troy Millette. Now Bernie Nichols comes out. So that Millette, Gartner, Nichols line reunited here. And that's been basically it. It's been the Kissio line and the Nichols line most of this overtime.
Here's James Patrick with it behind the goal, moves it up the boards. And Millette sends it all the way down. They wave off the icing, so Langway will have to go back and get it. He stops behind the goal, keeps an eye on Nichols, parked in front of the net. And Langway leads the pass out. Tim Berglund doesn't take it. It comes to center. Gartner dumps it right back in. Here's Langway behind the goal. Leads it out to Bob Joyce. Joyce to center ice, gets across the blue line. Inside the Ranger zone, fires wide. Helped along by Van Beesbrook, and a backhander again misses the goal. Gartner has it for New York. We're in sudden death overtime. The game tied 1-1. Puck cleared to center ice. Rouse fires it right back into the Ranger end. Courtnall turns, centers, and a shot, and a goal! The Caps are the Patrick Division champions and pop the corks. A sudden death overtime goal has given the Washington Capitals their first Patrick Division championship. They beat the Rangers 2-1. An appreciative crowd here at Madison Square Garden applauding the efforts of these two teams, and you almost knew it would come on a goal like that, a deflection.
And Mike, I think this is John Druce's goal. I think the man who has had the dominating series has put the Capitals into the conference finals for the first time ever.
Now the traditional handshaking starts, and for the first time in the history of the Washington Capitals franchise, they are not shaking hands in the second round and bidding another team their very best to go on to the conference finals. For the Rangers, their 50-year wait for a Stanley Cup championship will have to go on hold for at least one more year. John Druce has been credited with the goal. And the Capitals will be the team to meet the Boston Bruins in the Wales Conference Championship beginning Thursday night at Boston Garden.
The scoring, John Druce from Jeff Courtnall and John Tucker at 6 minutes and 48 seconds of overtime. Here's one more look at it, or here's really our first look at it on the replays. John Tucker wheeling in the corner, slides it out. Now watch Jeff Courtnall. He spins in, looks at traffic building in front, and all John Druce does is beat Ron Greshner to it, poke it through Van Beesbrook, and this red-hot man has given the Capitals their greatest moment in history.
Washington has 5 shots in overtime for a game total of 33. And the Rangers with 4, a game total of 30. The Washington Capitals are the 1990 Patrick Division champions. Let's head downstairs now to Jeff Rimmer.
Thanks, Mike. We've got the team captain of the Washington Capitals. Ronnie, congratulations. First time in the team's history. You're going to be playing in May.
That's great. I'm going back home, hopefully against Boston, and it's going to be a great series, but I don't know what happened to Kevin tonight. We got to get him back healthy, and the guys really pulled up their shorts tonight and dug down and played great.
How about John Druce? What a remarkable story.
It's typical. You know, I think it was just fitting for him to get the game winner in the fourth game and close it out for us. And
come on in.
He's really become a great player for us.
John Druce, congratulations. Whatever you're doing, don't change it, huh?
Well, you know, it was tough tonight. We went 3 periods of goal, and then in the overtime, I got my stick on one, and it goes in the net. You know, it was a great play by Jeff Courtnall putting it to the net. And just a great win for us, you know.
You're going to be playing in the Stanley Cup semifinals. That's got to be a dream come true, one series away.
You're darn right. You know, we've been working hard, and, you know, we've done it the hard way all season, and coming into an overtime game like this and pulling it out, an overtime game last game, it's a big boost for us, and, you know, I think we deserve the win because all season we've had a rough time going, and right now it's just onward and upward, hopefully.
Congratulations. Go enjoy it. We'll see you back in Washington for Game 3 of this next series.
Thanks, Jeff.
All right, John Druce, another overtime goal, another big goal for the Washington Capitals, and let's go back upstairs and rejoin Mike Fornes and Al Koken.
All right, thanks, Jeff. Mike, I think if you want to boil down the series and the success the Capitals had, it's simply that they were beating the Rangers to things in front of the net, in the corners, and along the boards. And here's a classic example. 2 Capitals beating Rangers to it along the boards. Then John Druce simply drives to the net. He gets a little bit of a position break on Ron Gresher, the veteran, and simply pokes it right through John Van Beesbroek. You can boil it down to that. The Capitals were winning the battle along the boards, getting the loose pucks, and they were driving to the front of the net. They outworked the Ranger defense almost the entire series, and that John Druce goal, very typical of it, and that's why they're moving on to the Wales Conference Finals.
We'll be back with our post-game programming from Madison Square Garden right after this.
After a mix-up at the hospital, Detective Bert Simpson thinks he's got 2 weeks to live.
What's the difference? If it happens, it happens.
But if he can go in the line of duty,
All right.
his family will be set for life. But getting killed isn't as easy as it looks. Short Time.
You missed me again, you idiot.
Rated PG-13.
Starts Friday, May 4th at theaters everywhere.
Subway, my way, Subway, Subway, my way, Subway, Subway. Come to Chevy City and check with tech before you buy. Come.
Announcing a world-class value in four-door sedans at a special price, the Hyundai Excel.
More horsepower.
Power.
Multi-point.
Fuel injection.
More power.
Automatic.
Automatic four-speed.
Overdrive?
Sure.
Stereo, too.
Stereo cassette.
Stereo.
Really?
Oh.
Wipers.
Intermittent. Wipers. Rear
Defogger.
More room.
More bedroom. More legroom. Bucket seats.
5-passenger living room.
Tinted glass.
Dual remote mirrors.
Mirrors. Nice wheels.
The Excel four-door sedan from Hyundai, now specially priced at just $71.99. Test drive a world-class value at your nearest Hyundai dealer. Do it today.
Eastern's Anywhere Fares. Fares to take you anywhere we fly in the USA for only $89 to $223 to cities like Miami, Fort Lauderdale.